as you can learn how to really be an entrepreneur and what it takes. So this is where I'm bringing phenomenal people to the table to share with you their story so that you can see the clues on how to build your story. So with that being said, today I have the distinct honor and pleasure of interviewing Mr. Claude Diamond. That his name just sounds like money.
I like that. I like that. My name sounds like money.
That's right. That's right. So his name is he's got money all over the place. And, as you know, he's a huge business person. He is the author of The Guts Sales Method, which I totally love. He's an entrepreneur. He's a real estate entrepreneur as well. And so I want to say, first of all, welcome. I'm so grateful that you came and wanted to share your story with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You're good for my ego. Thank you.
Well, good.
And I think it's big enough anyway. Or at least that's what my wife would say.
So as we always do, we always start from the very beginning for a lot of people who may not know your story. So please tell us, how did you begin your journey and where are you today?
Kid growing up in New York City, son of two immigrant parents from Europe. My parents came to this country, didn't speak the language, so naturally the first thing they did is open up a little grocery store in Upper Manhattan. I didn't get to play baseball or join the Boy Scouts or anything. I had to work in the family business, and I think out of all the things I've been talking about this lately, I think that my biggest advantage is I had to grow up in a working family. Okay? Everybody pitched into that business, and so I grew up in that kind of family environment. After school, I went to work. Saturdays, I went to work. I was the delivery boy. I was the kid who swept or cleaned the duster with the feather duster or whatever. And lived in New York, moved to New Jersey when I was 16 with my parents. Went to college. Everybody said, get a good job, get a good education. Went to school and went to law school also, got a doctorate in law. And then I worked for corporate America and discovered at least my truth. I wasn't happy working for other people. I don't play nice with others.
No, that's so funny. So, okay, so
I had a great job. I got to wear a little suit, had an expense account, had a company car. Mom and Dad were happy. He's working. And I did it for a couple of years, and I said, is this all there is? Sitting in traffic, spilling coffee between my legs all day long and talking to people who don't want to see me. What fun.
All right, so what happened? What was your turning point to going from that life to the entrepreneur life?
There was always a little entrepreneur in me. I used to sell comic books. I used to do little things on the side. And then I remember one day when my corporate job, I was up for my review, and my boss gave me the highest raise they could give me. And I was barely able to pay my rent from this company, and it gave me like a 10% raise, and 10% of, can I use bad language now?
Yeah,
10%. I don't want to be rude. 10% of shit is still shit.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
And I said, it's not that. I just want to be able to pay my bills and everything. I don't need fancy cars and things like that. I just want to be, and I wanted the freedom. That's, I guess, the operative word. So I met this one guy who was selling, this is a funny story, and I'm a young guy. I'm in my early 20s here, and this guy's selling tools off the back of a truck. I saw an ad in the paper. So he said, take off your suit and put on a work shirt and drive with me, because he was looking for helpers. And I said, why not? Let me try it. He made more money in one day selling tools off the back of a pickup truck in New Jersey than I made in probably 2 months in corporate America. And it blew me away. It was like an epiphany, a revelation to me.
Wow.
And I said, wow, because I want the money. I don't need the prestige in the suit. I want money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we all say,
What did Cuba Gooding Jr. say and Jerry Maguire? Show me the money.
The money. That's right. That's right.
And I started that business. I started importing, exporting tools. I was going out knocking on doors like a crazy man, and every now and then something unusual happened. Somebody said yes.
Right.
And I made more money in one sale than I'd make in a whole month selling hot dogs for Swift Premium in the South Bronx in New York City. And that's kind of got my entrepreneur spirit going. And then I started getting into real estate. Do you have any boring friends who sell Amway or real estate, and all they talk about is Amway and real estate all the time?
Yeah.
That was moi. People used to see me when I go into a party. People go, "Oh shit, here comes Claude. Let's go." All he's going to talk. I had real estate fever. Okay?
Wow,
I love real estate, and I had enough. I went to the seminars and stuff, and I had enough knowledge to be dangerous.
Yeah.
And I bought a few properties, and I was doing okay. But basically, I had to keep working in my other jobs so I could keep my tenants in their apartments, so I could support their way of life because they weren't paying me on time.
Exactly.
And then the really biggest moment in my life, I've written books about this gentleman. I talk about him every day. I met this wonderful self-made millionaire. His name was Max. He was that Reader's Digest used to have an article called My Most Unforgettable Character. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was this bigger-than-life, gregarious guy. And he would pick up the phone, and in one phone, and he would have this magic that I hated sales.
Right.
I was the former world's. I couldn't give away money, Gail. And he'd get on the phone and he'd talk to people, and they'd talk to him, and they'd laugh a lot and have fun and everything. He'd make more money in one phone call in real estate than I'd make in a whole year. And I said, "Whoa! I finally met a real millionaire here." Right. And I want that secret sauce. I want what he's got. And for your listeners here, this is the one takeaway that I want them. Find that one true, honest, legitimate, non-BS person who is really doing it honestly, ethically, and who is making the kind of money you want to make. Mm-hmm. And find that person and get in their hemisphere, get in their environment, and fetch them coffee, whatever you got to do. And I was lucky. That was my mentor. Right. And that's when my life changed. I know the exact moment when my life changed.
Okay. So, of course, my next question is going to be, well, how does someone go about that? Because, I often hear people say, how do I find a mentor? How do I, I've heard people talk about the fact that they get people coming to them and say, can I pick your brain? And it's like, ew, no, that's gross. You cannot pick my brain. And so, how does one go about finding that person that they can emulate? That is the no BS person, because there's so much of that out here.
Should I tell the truth or do some?
Yes, because this is a no BS zone.
Okay, it's a no BS zone. I like no BS zones. I'm old and ordinary enough to tell the truth. The truth of the matter is, what most of us do is go to false prophets. Right. I mean, it's not a double entendre there. We go to gurus at seminars, and we buy a lot, and we go to these people, and they have information to sell, okay? But it's not that one-on-one accountable relationship. You cannot learn success from someone who doesn't take you into the world and show you how they did it, if they really did it at all. Right. Most gurus, and where you go to the Holiday Inn and 10,000 people are there drinking bad coffee and stale donuts, and the guy's jumping up and down and said, John and Mary got rich, and John doesn't have to clean toilets anymore. And all they're selling is motivation. They're selling stories of motivation. We love success stories. They don't give the perspiration, though, the tools. Right. Exactly. And I was lucky. I found one really good man who had the secret sauce. He knew he had real estate, which I learned, which I loved. He had to make money in real estate, lease purchasing, options, which is my favorite strategy. But the most important thing he gave me was the sales, how to speak to the site. He didn't know how to explain it like I'm going to explain it, but he was a natural born salesman. Me, I had to study it and learn it, and copy it from other people. And he was just, he'd have this magic, and he taught me how to speak to people, what they're thinking, like being empathetic, I call it, like a mind reader.
Right.
And he just knew what to say. He used the right words at the right time.
Right.
Me, I was always sticking my foot in my mouth, you know.
Well, that's okay. I mean, most of us do, and that's okay. But you know, you're touching on a huge thing that a lot of people have issue with when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And you're talking about sales. Most people want to be entrepreneurs, but they are afraid to sell. They hate selling. So, right. And then, you know, I know you have your book, you know, the gut selling method. And you're saying yourself, you hated selling. You had to learn how to sell.
I hated selling. Who loves selling? When you were, do you have any kids, Gail?
Say it again.
Do you have any kids?
Yes. Well, I have adult children now. Yes.
Yeah, but when your little boy or girl was born, the first time you saw them, you held him or her in your arms and you said, "Oh my God, this is my son and daughter, the future salesperson." Right?
Right. Okay. Exactly.
Okay. Nobody wants their kids to grow up to be salespeople, do they?
Right. Right.
Nobody. We all want them to go to school or be doctors and lawyers or something like that, and everything. And you know, sales is. I hated sales. I found it humiliating, embarrassing. People reject you, lie to you, don't like you. Who wants to go out in the world and people say, "Take me off your list. I'll think about it. I'll talk to my spouse. Hang up on me." Who wants to do that?
Yeah. Okay. So as you were learning through, you know, through your mentor, what are some of the techniques? What did you learn? What did you learn?
I learned that making a sale and learning the art and science of persuasion and influence, and having the skill sets by practicing them and learning them and internalizing them makes you feel so confident and so wonderful about whatever you're selling. And nobody, you know, they don't teach this at Harvard Business School, at Wharton Business. They don't teach this. But sales, when you have a command of sales, you have to learn it. You have to practice it. You can't read a book or go to a seminar and learn sales.
Right.
That was I promised I'd tell the truth here today. If you are not superb in sales, in communication, in persuasion and influence, you are doomed to fail, no matter how many gurus, how many seminars, how much money you spend on marketing and mailers, how many strategies and things you do, how many employees you have. You study any great people who started a business from nothing, and they usually were great communicators.
Yes, that's true.
We've got a new president. I'm not going to go political on you here. But
Thank you.
What is his? Well, yeah, I'll have an amen too. You know, I'm not going there. But if you had to say something about him, what is his one skill that got him?
Right. Sales, marketing, and sales. That is we call that art of persuasion.
Yeah,
that art of persuasion. That is huge, and I will absolutely say that I've been taking away. Okay, what can I take away from this that I could use in my business? And that is one of the things that I came up with.
What did Steve Jobs do? Steve Jobs, head of Apple, he'd go on the stage in sneakers and jeans and a black polo shirt. The crowd loved him.
Yes, cults, man. That is, I mean, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yes, he built a huge cult.
Ronald Reagan, a bad actor. Okay, a guy who did movies with chimpanzees.
I know.
Okay.
I actually saw one of his movies not too long ago, too.
What did they say about him, Ronald Reagan? A lot of people say he was one of the best. They loved him. He was heartfelt, you know.
Exactly.
He knew how to say the right words. He could read his lines well. He was a great actor.
Exactly.
Which in sales, you not only have to be a scientist. We've talked a little bit the psychology, how people think, how they feel, how we feel. But you also have to be a great actor.
Right.
And to a lot of people, this is, oh, well, that's phony and everything. No, it's not. You got to be a great actor, so you create an environment where people feel they can trust you.
Okay.
And you have to take on the role to make that person feel comfortable. Because who woke up this morning and said, "Gee, I hope Gail or Claude, the life insurance salesman, locks me in their office for 3 hours talking about their Amway shampoo franchise. You know?
I know, right? Yeah, no, nobody woke up doing that. So now I know you coach a lot of people. So I'm going to ask you this,
Mentor.
and hopefully you'll be able to know the difference. Do you know if there is a difference, or have you noticed a distinct difference between men and women when it comes to sales?
Yeah, no, not really. Not really. I don't think. No, I don't think there's a distinction in sales. I think men and women both really stink at sales equally.
But do you think that there is a different approach to sales depending on whether you're male or female?
I think women, and this is no secret, women are better listeners than men.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife laughs whenever I say this, and it's one of my things I've never been a good listener. I've got a grande boca here, a big mouth. Okay. And I'd rather talk than listen, but I've been really trying over the years to listen, to be a better listener. To be a great salesperson, you have to ask the right questions in the right fashion. And then you've got to...
Right. And then you got to learn when to be quiet.
And there's a magical moment that happens if you ask, when you're talking to a prospect that you want to do real estate or anything with, and you ask the right question, there's a transference that happens. The prospect becomes the salesperson. They do all the work for you if you're willing to be quiet once in a while. Okay? But you have to be the authority figure in the room also. You know, you go to your doctor, Gail. I use this, people who are listening to me, they know I say this all the time. But if you go to your doctor, what does she say when you walk in the room, Gail?
How are you?
Gail, how are you? Why are you here?
Why are you here?
What does it hurt?
Does
she say, Gail, I'm so glad to see our coupon in the paper and everything. We're having a special on back surgery and the price goes up on Friday.
No.
Did she say that?
No.
Then why do salespeople in real estate or any business, why do they sound so goofy?
Yeah, because they're normally trying to because they want to get to the sale. And you have to probe first. You've got to ask questions, as you say. And I like that. I like that doctor analogy, because normally my doctor will say, okay, so what brought you here today? Did you have any concerns, or is this just a regular checkup? Tell me what's happening.
And do you mind her asking you those intrusive questions?
No.
Yeah, you don't mind at all. Why? Because there's a level of respect and trust. Here's the takeaway for everybody listening. Why don't we create that in business, in sales? I want to do business. I love buying shit. But I don't want to buy it from someone who's just going to, oh, well, thanks, Claude, bye. You know, hey, honey, we're going to Vegas. You know.
Right.
No, I want somebody who gives me value, that I like, that I trust, that makes, that makes me feel like, gee, this is a good person. I like this person. Don't we like to, here's a real brilliant statement. Don't we do business with people we like? Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
All we have to do is stop. Here's where I get controversial again. Is that all right?
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
I say a lot of crazy shit and people get nervous. Okay? No scripts, no premature presentations, no slideshows, no asking or begging for the order, and you tell the prospect that they can fire you anytime they want.
Right. Okay.
Why do I do that stuff?
So yeah, I mean, how does a person go about their, because there's always this sales cycle, this sales process. My youngest son, it works for CarMax, okay, and they took him through this sales. What is it? I think it's like 6 steps, of the sales process.
Yeah.
And so, how do you go through that and you're doing it off the cuff? I mean, you're saying no scripts, no. Oh, really? Okay.
No, I have a system. It's 3 steps, like a staircase. Because it is a system, but it's also based, and it's called agenda. We set an agenda. Gail, can I ask you a few questions you asked me? And let's find out if we're a good fit, if I can help you solve your problem. And if I can't, or you're not comfortable, you just tell me, Claude, get out of here. You're fired. Okay?
Right.
And then I go to the qualification step where I ask you questions. This is where it gets difficult because I use something called redirection. It's a form of a reverse psychology. and I want to qualify you for money, need, time, EQ, emotional quotient, all your, I want to find out, are you someone I can do business with, or you don't have two nickels to rub together?
Right.
And I will use redirection, reverse psychology. Gail, Gail, it's okay to say no to me, but if suppose I could help you with this problem that meets with your budget in the time frame you're looking for, you wouldn't want to make a commitment so we could move forward today and solve this problem, would you?
Wow. Okay.
You're just hearing Claude saying no, 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 because I'm using negatives.
Right.
And when you say a negative, when I say enough negatives, you go to the other side of the street and you say, well, wait, maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to.
Exactly. You know what that sounds like? That it just reminded me of a Bugs Bunny cartoon that he did with Daffy Duck. And so, yeah. And I always thought Bugs was cool.
I love Bugs.
So,
You know who I love?
Popeye and Olive Oil, okay.
Papa, greatest philosopher of all time.
Yes. I am what I am, and I'm all that I am. Yes.
Yes. And he was ahead of his time. He was a vegan. All he ate was spinach. Look at his girlfriend. If that's not anorexia, I don't know what is.
Right.
Okay. But he said we can be ourselves. So in sales, yes, we need a system. But why can't we be who we are? Gail, do you want to talk to a clown or a human being? You want to have what we call the adult-to-adult conversations. When you meet somebody at a party or social or work, and nobody has any mandate other than to have a good conversation. Right. It's my responsibility as the professional persuader to find a way to find out if you have a problem, like a doctor or a lawyer, and maybe I get enough information and then offer a suggestion to you. Gail, suppose we could solve this problem. You mind if we talk about money? Mind if we talk about commitment? Maybe I can help you. And if not, don't worry about it. You've never met a character like me.
No, you are really striking so many chords. You're really striking a ton of chords with me. Just as I'm just listening to you.
It's the $1 million skill, Gail. But we don't the gurus won't teach it. You're not gonna. Who's the greatest salesman of all time? I always say. I think one of my favorites, one of the greatest salesmen is Anthony Robbins. By the way.
Well, okay, yeah, but why do you say that?
Because he gets thousands of people to give him $5,000 to walk on hot coals and go to the frickin' hospital. If that isn't a great salesman, I don't know what is.
You are too funny, but everybody doesn't go to the hospital. I'm not going to get into that.
I'm not going to get into it either. Gail, I want you. Hey, Gail, we got some briquettes left over from the barbecue last 4th of July. Give me $5,000 to walk on it.
Don't get me started. So share with us what books or what education, besides of course yours, can one obtain to start on how to do in their head the right way to do it? Because if you've been doing it the wrong way all this time and you're not being taught correctly, you've got to start with something. Yeah. And so talk about that.
I've always been fascinated studying other people who are successful. I love biographies.
Yes.
I love what we call Horatio Alger, rags to riches stories. I love that. My book, The Mentor Teaches the Guts Method, is what I call a business novel. I'm not doing a commercial here, but I wanted to write about a guy who sat in the back of the sales room and fell asleep, and the sales manager saw him during the big sales meeting and embarrassed the hell out of him. And the guy still can't sell, and he's got bills and mortgages and everything and I wanted him to meet a great salesperson and take him through the journey of what to say, how to do it, and it's a happy ending without giving it away. Okay, and so to me, I needed to study from my mentor, from books. I wanted to hang around. If you want to be a loser, hang around with losers. If you want to be a winner, hang around with winners. Study winners and how they did it. And the glue that for my world, because this is subjective, it was sales. Okay, you've got to have the P&P. You've got to have the passion. You've got to sell a product you love, you believe in, with all your heart and soul. Barbara Sinatar said, "Do what you love, the money will follow." Great book, 30 years ago. So you got to have the passion, but you got to have the product and the passion. So you've got to have the skill sets. And if you can't sell, you could be a realtor and work in Beverly Hills and have the best leads in the world. Okay? But if you can't convert those leads, monetize those leads, does it matter that you're smart, you've had the education? Does it matter that you have the leads if nobody wants to make a commitment to you?
Right.
If you're not going to the bank. So what I recommend people do, I have almost 500 videos on YouTube, non-commercial videos. And all I do is talk about what we're discussing today. Little people who watch my videos are hearing a lot of familiar things today. But what I do is I talk about my marketing, sales, role plays. I take, with permission, live calls. Okay, and my job is for people to discover me. I'm a secret, and that's how I get my leads. That's another discussion for another day. Social media marketing. I get all my leads for free. I spend Zippo on marketing, by the way.
Okay, because we're going to go into that conversation, right? I'm just letting you know we're going to go into that one. Okay, so this is good. So one, people can discover you and your information and get familiar with how to start using some of these techniques, some of these methods for sales. Because I know that one of the biggest issues, and I know you brought it up, was that confidence factor. Because sometimes I don't care how much you might love your product, if you have a fear that you're going to come off sounding crazy, sounding pushy, whatever, if you have that block, you're still going to have a challenge. So you've got to be able to build that confidence.
Yeah, exactly. And what are the motivational speakers? What are the gurus at the real estate seminars and all that? What are they selling all day long? Motivational stories.
Right.
Okay. And you can have all the motivation, and they say all the BS like, go out there and walk into the sun, and if 100 people say no, call up another 100 people. That is such BS.
Okay.
Truth be told, I would listen when I call. If I used to knock on doors and stuff. Guess how you feel when 20 people don't answer the door or slam the door in your face or tell you to go away or they're going to call the police or they release the hounds.
Right.
That's not a fun day.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No.
And if we can take sales and make it so people respect us and we respect, and they listen to us and they're interactive with us, if we can control the environment by using the right words, it's empowering. When I make a sale, I am happy. I am 2 feet above the ground. Honey, it's not mac and cheese tonight. We're going out for dinner. I love when I call making a sale the second best feeling in the world. Okay. Right. And I had a guy at my last speaking gig in San Diego. Was a real young fellow. What's the first?
If you have to ask, then you probably.
If you have to, yeah. I said that's another. I said I'll have a long. Remember Beverly Hillbillies when Jed was talking to Jethro? One of these days, I gotta have a long talk with that boy.
That's right. That's right. Oh, God.
So it's sales to me. I wish my wife was here. I was the shyest guy. I was shy. I couldn't make eye contact. I didn't sound like I sound today.
Right.
Okay. And life is bad. The squeaky wheel does get the grease.
Yeah, that's right. We just learned that.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, to all things to thine own self be true. I think people want to communicate. They want their feelings and their thoughts and their opinions heard. But they don't. But in many cases, they're overpowered or pressured or they're intimidated or they don't know what to say. What I do with people, what my mentor did with me is we practice. We study the science. We practice the art. We roll. I found, and I wish more of these gurus. If there's gurus out there watching this, all you've got to treat people the way you want to be treated. Practice with them so that they get an idea of how you made your wealth.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All I do is give good phone. I talk to nice people, but I don't sound like a goof, a clown.
Right. Right.
And if you speak to enough people and you have enough good interactive adult to adult conversations, not parent to child or anything else like that, but parent to parent, and it makes it. I have fun. I talk to wonderful people all day long, and they don't all give me money or contracts or say yes. A lot of them say no, but I find out very quickly. I qualify, usually in 3 minutes or less.
Okay.
Yeah, got this idea from my honeymoon.
Okay.
Why does everybody laugh at that?
I'm not going there either.
Sorry, Claudia. She hates that joke. But the thing about it is, I think people are people.
Right.
Okay. I don't think, oh, those prospects, they're this and that. And we're talking about prospects like there's some new creature that crawled out of the La Brea tar pit or something.
Right.
We are the prospect.
Right.
How do we want to be treated?
Yeah. Right.
And if you understand how to set the stage, you're almost like you're like Steven Spielberg producing a movie. You've got to set the stage. You've got to write the script, the plot. You've got to hire the actors, the lighting and the makeup. This is your play. Every time I get together with a new person, I am the producer, the director, the actor.
Right.
In that play.
That is good. Yeah, I like that. That is really, really good. So I saw you held up your your little hourglass or minute glass.
3-minute timer. In 3 minutes, okay. I want to know, am I dealing with a prospect?
Right. So take me through, or tell me, first of all, share with me, do you have, I'll call them rituals, habits that you do every day, and because it looks like
other than bodily functions, or
okay. But yeah, so do you have, I'll call them success rituals that you do on a daily basis? Because also, as salespeople, sometimes we just don't know how to properly execute the time during the day. And what do we do to kind of get us in that, you mentioned Anthony Robbins, getting us in that proper state to be successful throughout the day. So do you have, things that you do every day?
It's a great question. I call it the ritual of success. It's funny you use those words on there. First thing is, and we spoke about it earlier, you've got to do it. You got to do something you love. If I told you, Gail, I'll pay you $100,000 a year to be a septic tank cleaner, are you going to get up on Monday morning and say, oh boy, I get to dive in shit again? No. Okay, no. But even for $100,000 or whatever. So it's got to be more. The money's important. I don't demean the money. I respect money. Right. And I like having money. I like taking care of my family and paying my bills and being responsible. And so I don't need my own jet and that BS, but I like the security of going to bed at night not worrying about money. In order to do that, to make that money, I have to be practical, but I got to find the thing that I love to do. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, Gail. I talk with great people all over the world, 18 different countries now. I work with major companies just doing sales training, gut sales training, practice and roll. I love what I do. I don't get, that thing on Sunday afternoon at 4:30, that bad feeling we get around 4:30.
Yes. I remember that, yes.
And we go, oh, shit, I got to go to work tomorrow.
I got to go to work, that's right. I saw something that said, I think it was either Zig Ziglar or
I met Zig. Proctor. I know Zig.
Oh, you did? Yes. Okay, yeah. But I remember them saying that, someone said that the most heart attacks are had on Sunday night.
Why?
Because people hated to have to go to work the next day.
Yeah. So, takeaway for the people listening here: do something you look forward to. I love Fridays. There's that one song. I don't like Mondays. I love Fridays. So when I was a kid, Friday, last day of school, the weekend starts, vacation starts. I love Fridays. I go out on dates on Friday, Saturday night. Friday was my day, and my theory of life is every day should be Friday.
Friday, yes.
And that only comes when you do. It's got to be more than the money. It's got to be something that's stimulating, that's challenging, that's rewarding. Okay, you can't just say I want to go into real estate or life insurance or Wall Street or whatever because I want a lot of money, because it's not enough. Mm-hmm. Life is too damn short. I want to enjoy. I'll never retire. When God decides to take me away, I know I'm going to die with an iPhone in my hand.
They used to die with their boots on. You're going to die with your iPhone in your hand.
I'm doing what I love, and if it's practical enough, where you can get compensated for doing something you love. You see, you can't put a cap on the energy of doing something you're passionate about. 40 hours, man. I got that. Man, I knocked that out by Tuesday. You know? Right. Okay. My biggest thing is I love what I do, and I'll never stop doing it. And work is not a 4-letter word for me. Yes, can I modify? Can I take off? Can I take a nap on the couch? Can my wife and I travel or go out to dinner? Yeah, and I'm not a workaholic. I'm one of the laziest guys you've ever met. But when I do something, when I have something I love, like a good book, you can't wait to get, I have that focus. So that's number one. You asked me about ritual of success, though, the real question. I get up earlier. I live where I want to live. I don't take vacations. I live them. I feel, you take a vacation, they lose your luggage, you get sick on the road, and all that stuff. I'm always sitting in the middle seat between the baby throwing up and the old man dribbling on my shoulder while he's sleeping. I mean, I don't like vacations. They're too fast and they end too quick, and they're too, oh God, now I got to wait another 6 months, a year for my vacation. I'd rather live where I want to live. And that was kind of part of our ritual, our life. So we live in California and Colorado and a couple other places. And every day I live in places where people come for vacation. And that's kind of a part of our mindset here on this. I get up early every morning. I exercise. My wife and I, she's like a gerbil on the treadmill. She'll knock out 5 miles a day, every day minimum. I like to run every day. My wife and I just did a 10-mile race in San Diego. She came in 3rd place.
Wow.
Okay? And, we're not kids anymore, and she's placed in 3rd place. And, we love to exercise. So if you want to stay healthy, you got to get into that ritual or routine of walking or bike riding or yoga or whatever you like to do. Find your thing. I like to run, okay, and run in the trail, out in the woods and stuff like that. Yeah. We like to watch what we eat. We eat a lot of houses. The refrigerator is always filled with fresh fruit, Honeycrisp apples. I love them. Bananas, nuts. We have good food here. You got to stay healthy. If you want to be a millionaire, you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to have the energy to keep up with the kids. Yeah. Okay. I will beat people on a road race. Not everyone, but I'll beat a lot of people half my age, 1/3 my age. Okay, and I will beat them in a road race. Because I take care of myself. So I remain competitive. That's part of it also. I every day in the morning, I have my scheduled appointments with my clients. I have somewhere between 4 to 8, 15 to 30-minute mentoring sessions with my client on Skype. We role play, we practice, we record it. My job is to get them so that they're so comfortable in their own skin in sales that they go right to that phone, because most people treat the phone like a cactus. And I want to get them so that they're making their prospecting calls. I work with a lot of people in real estate. So I do my phone calls in the morning, my scheduled appointments, one right after the other, by the way, no break. And it's really hard to do Skype when you got to go potty.
Yeah, that's right.
Then I usually, by 1 o'clock, I'll do my calls for my real estate deals, my prospects, people. I do real estate. I do my sales mentoring and real estate mentoring and social media. These are the things I love to do. I have I have different businesses. My passion is my mentoring business. I love helping people in 30 days just get to understand why sales is the $1 million skill. That's my big thing. I love what I do. That
is so great. So
long answer to a simple question. I'm sorry.
I know, right? I know. It's okay. It's good because that's a part of what people are studying. I mean, or they should be studying, is find successful people, find out what do they do every single day, and then they just imitate it. Yeah. and they'll usually get to where they want to go.
Read my book too. If any of your listeners want my book, can I give it away for free?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, maybe I should charge for it.
That's definitely part of what I want. I want to make sure that you provide whatever we need to connect with you, to whatever. Because, yes, I want to make sure that people have that.
I never sell stuff. I just give things away.
You just give it away, right?
Oh, my Harvey, come in here. He's giving the shit away. Oh, my God.
Okay, but before we get to that, you mentioned people are scared of the phone. And we also talked about the big thing now, social media. And everybody oftentimes feels like, okay, that's where I'm going to get all of my prospects. Talk about how you use social media in the right way.
God, I got to give away all my secrets today.
Oh, no, just give a couple of nuggets.
Man.
Just a couple of nuggets.
You know what I love? A lot of my clients come to me from other gurus and platforms.
Yes.
And things. And I love it because these guys, you heard yesterday about Trump University settling for $25 million.
Yeah.
Gee, why were all those people so upset? Because they got a lot of old-fashioned or unusable information. They didn't get enough, or the stuff they got was old. I love my competition because they're still teaching the old tired stuff.
Oh yeah, I
get
know.
people come to me, Claude. They told me to mail. I got $18,000, and I'm going to mail all these yellows from this blind list to all these people who don't know who I am, and I'm going to mail them all this stuff to the post office.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I hope you have a very old clientele because no one under the age of 35 goes to the post office anymore.
Nope.
If you don't believe me, ask my kids. I got to call them up. No, wait, I take it back. I can't call them. I have to text them before I call them.
Exactly.
And I'll say, gee, Mom and Dad are sending you a $50 In-N-Out Burger gift card in the post office. Make sure you check your box. Because my son goes once a month, if I'm lucky, to the post box, to his post box.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not where they're going to be.
So all my competition is they're scared of, believe it or not, Gail, this is really weird. My competition is scared to death of Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram. They're scared to death. What is the one thing that everybody has in their hand all day long, even when they go potty?
That's it. Their phone.
Their phone. But these guys are telling them to use the post office or knock on doors or hang signs. I love these people. I love my competition because they're teaching them all this stuff that is doomed to fail.
Right.
And what I teach them is, guys, girls, what's the one thing we look at all day long? What's the one thing we have in our hand? We can't even drive our car without our map thing. We text, we tweet, we watch videos on YouTube and on Netflix and stuff like that. This is our world.
That's true.
We have the library in our hand here. We have the communication thing that they talked about in Star Trek. It's all here.
Yes.
And they're not telling them how to use it.
Well, because they don't know. They don't know themselves.
I think they know. I think they're scared or intimidated by it. I'm going to the airport. I got a trip tomorrow. I'm going to the airport, Denver, and I do something really weird. I look at young people. I look at real young kids sitting there doing this.
Yes.
And I'm dying to see what applications they're using. What they're doing. I'm like the weird old man. I'm always scared that the police are going to call because I'm always doing that, and their parents go, "Who is that?" And I'm dying to see what they're using, and they're using Instagram and Snapchat and Musical.ly and all these different weird apps and things like that. And that's how an old dude like me stays contemporary. I'm still learning how to communicate using digital technology. And all I do is every week I make a couple crazy Claude videos on YouTube. Okay, and thank goodness I get all the leads I want. Guess how much it costs me?
Zero.
Bupkis. Nada. Nothing. Nothing. All I do is put out contemporary content. I'll talk about stuff. I'll try to. I got a style. I like to have fun. I
like to tell that. That I know. That one I knew.
Why not?
Absolutely.
I got nothing in the world. See, we've all won the lottery. We all exist. Out of all the little spermies and all the eggs in the world here, somehow some magic happened, and you're here and I'm here because Mom and Dad at that right moment picked the Gail or Claude, whatever. Okay. And we're here, and we're healthy, and we're in the greatest country in the world. Nobody's fighting to get out of this country. Everybody wants to come in. And we're in the most entrepreneurial country in the world. We've got problems and all that other nonsense. But this is the one place where anybody can make it.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
And now we have the technology on our side. I don't need to spend $10,000 a month on Wall Street Journal ads. Where would a guy like me be able to make a schmo like me, okay, kid of immigrant parents, make 500 videos on YouTube, and I have tens of thousands of people watching all the time? I have some videos that have gone viral, okay? People who never knew Crazy Claude say, hey, maybe he's got something there.
Crazy Claude, I like that. That's good. I love that.
It's not my nom de plume, but, you know.
Well, that's okay. This is good. So my last question before I get you to provide us everything that we need to connect with you, and we know you're on YouTube, so at least I do know that, and some of the other programs you have. But if you were starting over, you were, and you're who you are today, you're your age today and everything, right? Because remember, there are a lot of people out here now that are in their 50s and they're like, holy crap, I don't know what I'm going to do. So if you are where you are right now and you're starting from scratch and you want to get to, start generating revenue, what would you suggest people to do?
I'd say try stuff, get experiences, do things, okay? But don't go to false prophets, phony baloney gurus. You have to live life a little bit and find out what is it you're good at. What is it? You have to do that self-assessment. You have to do that diagnostic on yourself. What am I good at? What do I like to do? Okay?
Right.
If you love Popeye, go to a dollar store. Go somewhere and buy 1,000 Popeye dolls and then put them on eBay or something. Gary Vaynerchuk talks a lot about stuff like that.
Yeah, yes.
Do something you love. Find what if you like to write, become a writer and sell books on different topics and sell them cheaply. If you have a big mouth, become a consultant, coach, or guru. Okay, but give people good value. That's the thing.
Right.
Don't just take their money and hand them off to an assistant or give them a schlocky book with the triple spacing. Give them value. So if I was starting out today, I'd say get life experiences, do things. Try different jobs. Go to school, but don't go to school just because your friends are going and you want your parents to have a $250,000 bill. Make sure it's the top. My wife, her mother was a nurse, and my wife loved nursing, and so she became a candy striper in high school. Okay, which is a nurse's assistant. They wear these really cute costumes, which I found very attractive at the time. We've known each other since we were like 17 and 16. Wow. And she found out she loved nursing. She went to nursing school. She went to Columbia University, got a master's degree in medicine, in medical management or something. I always forget. And she found her proclivity, her interest. And she loved nursing, and she was making a lot more money than me at one time in our relationship. So the takeaway is find what you love to do, but keep it practical and learn as much as you can and pay the price. Listen, my mentor, I had to pick up his dry cleaning, fetch him, get him bagels and coffee and stuff. Like, here I am with all these degrees and everything, and I'm a gopher. And it was the best decision I ever made in my life, because I got the $1 million education that no one would give me. Right.
That is profound.
I have my moments.
Yeah, so we are going. We're going to wrap this up. How do people connect with you? I know you got mentoring programs. You've got all of these various things. I know you got to get your book, all of that. Tell us what to do.
Google, Gail, you got the smartest audience in the world, right?
Absolutely.
All they got to do is Google Claude Diamond. I'm not going to insult their intelligence by doing a boring commercial. Just Google Claude Diamond. You'll find me on YouTube. You'll find my webpage. You'll find my Snapchat, my Instagram. I'm all over the dang place. Too much Claude. Okay? If you want my book, send me an email, mentor@mac.com, mentor@mac.com. Don't go to Amazon and buy it. Okay? Just send me an email. Say free book. I love Gail's show. You were fantastic, Claude. I love flattery will get you everywhere.
And lots of compliments.
And I'll send you a free book. You don't have to spend $29.95 on Amazon. I'll send you the book for free. I'll send it immediately digitally. Read the book. If you like it, schedule a free consultation with me. We'll talk for 30 minutes and have some fun.
Okay. Awesome. This is so, and you know what? It drives me crazy. This time always goes by so fast, because you've given us so many great nuggets, and I so much appreciate you saying yes to me. And, I asked and he said yes. Sometimes that's all it takes,
And there's a success story there too. All you did was ask.
Yeah.
And the worst I could have said was no, but what happened?
Exactly. I have made a friend. You are so much fun, which I knew that anyway. I'm like, oh yeah, he likes having fun. I've got to talk to him. And you've really added a lot of value because I know that you get some really, really great nuggets. So
thank you.
Thank you
This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. Thank you very much.
We can have fun in business and in sales and in conversation. My greatest fear in life is that I'll bore somebody.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, you will not bore. You won't bore anybody. Trust and believe. So anyway, so we're going to wrap this up, people. So again, I definitely want to say thank you to Claude Diamond. He is the man with the money. And thank everybody for being here. And until our next episode of the Entrepreneur's Journey, make sure you check out our next episode. And until then, I will say goodbye. So, yeah, good. See